Hello and welcome to Slamfire Radio episode 466. Today is July 28th, and I'm one of your hosts, Kyle.
I'm another one of your hosts, Random Dave.
I'm another host, Mo.
I'm Kelly.
I'm Adriel, the hunting gear guy.
Yeah, and Mo, could you actually amp up the excitement there just a tad?
I'm Mo. I am super excited.
Why the hell am I here?
Good grief.
Mo's
We've got the full crew tonight, too.
Why bother? Oh, bother. Oh, bother.
Well, let's get right into what we did with guns. And what we did with guns is sponsored by the Calgary Shooting Center, Canada's premier firearms retailer. And I kind of went through there, and they have some Grey Birch LDRs in for $1,400.
Nice. Gone up
Sweet.
Yeah.
Complete rifle.
It's with the carbon fiber barrel. And
I need to do that again.
Nice guns. I like mine.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I haven't even cleaned my rifles from the last. Anyways, it's been 2 weeks.
What's cleaning
I gotta
rifles?
do that. all my maple seed rifles are like sand coated. I should really
I
clean them.
know.
So this is why you need the rain. So it rains enough, you don't have to clean them. Just squirt some break free in them, and you're good to go.
Dave, why don't you kick us off with what you did in guns?
My transfer came through. I sold a Webley like 6 weeks ago, and the transfer came through yesterday. So super excited about that. And that, well, more the guy who bought it is super excited. And I did some mathing because I had done a transfer just in May. So between May 9th and to July 28th, if their numbers are incremental, which I assume they are, it would make sense, we've had 73,943 transfers between mine. I'm assuming most of those are probably in the last, 4 weeks.
Lots of guns sold.
Lots
Lots of guns sold, yeah.
Yep. So transferring guns, that's all I've been up to. How about you, Adriel?
I did a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, so just after last show, I polished shotgun chambers. Now I had two shotgun barrels that were both giving me really hard extractions, like take the pump and like bash it on the ground just for target loads too. So I tried two different methods. I tried steel wool around a brush or a mop. Can't remember. It didn't work. It was just too weak. I was using like fine steel wool. Didn't do it very quick. And then I tried valve polishing compound, and that worked great. And then I ran some 6 micron stuff afterwards just to kind of polish it up. And then in my Dremel kit, I had like a little brown fuzzy wheel, like abrasive thing that like had some give to it. I ran that one because I had 2 barrels, right? I had my 18-inch barrel and I had 28-inch barrel. Tried them both. They both work just fine now. So I had the Savage Stevens 320 out at the range, and it ran slugs and whatnot just fine. Then after it's like, oh, okay, it does work. I put a rail on it, and I put this Primary Arms Cyclops 1X prism scope on it. It's a little bit far forward, so I've got this thing sitting like right at the back of where the rail is. It's still just a little, well, I don't know. Maybe it's fine.
Not enough.
Maybe it's fine. The advantage with this scope is that you can, it's got like everything from 3 to 7 inches is really usable.
Do it again. Do it to where it's really.
Well, look, there's no cheek weld. I got a chin weld at best. Yeah. So I'm gonna need,
By the way,
like a big boost on there. What's up?
Yeah. So that vortex, whatever, that picture that you posted on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Instagram that you posted it on?
What, the spotting scope?
Yes, on top of your. What?
You're just jealous. You're just jealous of my magnification.
Totally.
That's the chest weld for that one.
There's not even a chin weld with the, you're just like hovering over top of stock on that one. But that video is coming soon, so I don't want to.
I'm excited about that.
Way too much. That's a good one. Yeah, I've got it actually just sitting right here. It's a good spotting scope for the price and for the size of it. It's very small, and it's good enough that I'm definitely I can see out of this better than my $1,200, $1,300 rifle scope, which is
Cool.
a good thing.
Yeah.
Because like I had a $260 spotting scope before, and it was crap. It just like wasn't clear enough to be able to see better than a rifle scope. What's the point of it? This one is clear enough. I would say I have actually have Rick's Vortex Razor spotting scope here. It's sharper, of course. It has less chromatic aberrations, so like that blue fringing kind of on far things when you're looking through like glass.
Did he leave that there with
one has
you?
less. What's that?
Did he leave that there with you?
Yes. Yeah, for review. And I got to get that done before he comes up to Edmonton, which is in a month.
Which one does he have?
The Viper.
I need to get one of the.
Look at it here.
I need to get one of the spotting scopes that we've gotten from Vortex back from somebody.
Nice. So not a
Maybe this is one of
$200
them.
spotting scope. So that Vortex is definitely not a $260 spotting scope.
That would be
Probably not. No.
correct.
1,000, I think. Yeah. But this one's 450, 480 maybe, something like that.
Not bad.
That's
Pretty
not
good for the price, and it's got a mill reticle on it too, so you can do holdovers
Oh, that's
and
cool.
not falling
bad.
off.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is nice. Yeah.
You guys would appreciate something like that. Most people like would not care less, but if you're shooting PRS with other people who are using mill, then you'd be able to call out like a hold 2 left or whatever.
Yeah. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I did a range visit with a couple listeners, Thomas and Roseanne, and we went out to Sherwood Park. They got handguns and like, oh, we got handguns. Let's go. So we finally got out to the range.
Nice.
They shot. They had a P10F and a Glock 48. I have a Glock 48. The P10F, the trigger on it is so much better than the Glock. It's embarrassing. It's so much better, and it really made me want a P10.
I was going to say, it really made you want to actually go and buy one now because it's that much better.
I keep looking at those and I'm like, that's for the price. That's pretty slick.
Oh, Dave, you don't even know. Like a buddy of mine was a year ago trying to sell me his P10F for $450. I'm like,
Oh, good
sorry, I just don't want to, and I just don't need it right now. And right now they're going for $800, and they're a good deal at $800 compared to what else you can buy right now on online.
Yeah.
I have somebody that's looking to buy my Glock 17, and I keep saying no, because they take it for range days, right? Because everybody wants to shoot a Glock, but I'm going.
Yeah, of course.
If you can get $800 for it, and you can get now the P10F, like the grip on it's quite large. It's larger than my hands need.
Oh, is it?
I have large hands, and I there's a solid like ½ inch at the bottom that's just not being used. They also have the SC, the P10 SC, which uses a shorter grip. I think it's a Glock 17 size grip, and shorter frame, shorter slide as well. I would still probably get the P10F.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, really good, really good. The Garand ran just great. So even with that surplus ammo that was giving me problems last week, it was running just fine. So cleaning the chamber, cleaning the firing pin channel, oiling the crap out of them, it's working back to 100% again.
Awesome.
It's nice to troubleshoot something and then try a fix and have it work. It doesn't always work like that. A lot of times you're like, oh, I think it's this. You go take it to the range, like it's not that. It's like, oh,
That's why
I'll try
I'm
something else.
Jealous of my friends that have, shoot off their back porch, because you just sit on the back porch and fix it, or it didn't work, worked, and we're like, I'm going to drive for an hour and then find out it didn't work, and then meh.
I'm in the same boat. Or worse, drive an hour to the range and find out, my scope mount isn't on properly, and I don't have tools to put it back on. There's no one else at the range. I guess I'm going home.
Toolkit, Adriel. Always carry the tools for your gun in your branch bag.
This is many years ago.
I was going to say, it sounds like this is something that you've experienced.
A long time ago. This was with an M14. And when the first batches came in, I got an ARMS 18 mount for it, and it was just like I couldn't dial in. It was so far off. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. What else we do? Oh, they also brought their Heritage Rough Rider. Now I thought they were pretty close to the Ruger Wranglers, and they are. They're still a single action 22, but there are some little differences in how they work. I'd say like the Wrangler is just simpler to use. The Wrangler just has like the hammer and then the loading gate. You open up the loading gate, the cylinder moves. It's easy. You load it, you unload it. With the Heritage Rough Rider, it doesn't use a transfer bar, so the trigger press is actually a little bit smoother. It's not doing as many things. It has a manual safety. The cylinder only rotates one way, so when you're unloading it, you can only do one click at a time and then load or unload it. And so they both have their pros and cons, I would say. Similar enough to not really care which one you get, but interesting. I've been thinking about reloading to save money. I was looking at some 9mm and some 223 and that kind of thing, and reloading costs are it's starting to become worth it again.
Worth it now.
Yeah.
I can't.
I was just going to say, components though are still.
Some components are expensive. Some are bullets are actually absolutely fine. I'm actually putting together an order from Tenda tonight, and I'm getting some 9mm bullets for 110 per 1,000, which is what they were before all of this.
What grain? 124?
121. They didn't have 121.
Oh, 121. Okay.
They had 147s and 158s. I just don't feel like running that stuff because I don't.
58. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you could, if you run 158, you could make 9mm major.
Interesting.
The high pressure, right? So you could. That would be useful for that kind of.
Are they the Cam Pros or something else?
Cam Pros. Yeah. Cam Pros.
Nice.
Now the problem with 9mm, if you buy it, it's 41 cents at the cheapest. 41 cents per round. If you reload it, you can reload for 25 cents per round, depending on what your brass is coming in at. So you can save about $160 per 1,000 rounds. On a progressive, I'd say that's worth it. So on a progressive, I can make about 1,000 rounds an hour. So $160 per hour. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But there's no pistol primers anywhere.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, there's no pistol primers anywhere.
I know.
So I'm ordering the bullets, but I'm just going to put them on a shelf and not look at them.
Just use small rifle. You're fine.
I have small rifle primers. I have 15 and I have used small rifle primers in pistol rounds before. Yeah, but I just don't want to with these ones. I'm probably just going to order that. Tenda has a deal on 124 grain brass case, that Czech weird stuff.
I was looking at that.
Yeah, it was $8.19 per 2,000, so $4.10 or so, $4.10 per 1,000. So I'm just going to order some of that, and then hopefully that gets me through until there's more primers available. I have been doing some work in my shop to set it up for reloading, so I've got my reloading bench more or less set up in there, but I need a bigger bench, so I want to build something in there. I've been looking at some plans. If any of you listeners have a decent plan for a nice wide bench, maybe 8 feet or something, I'd like to see it because I want to build something big.
2x4s bolted together.
Yeah, I can send you a photo of what I did at work.
If you get plans, you can make one trip to Home Depot, get your shit, come back, make all your cuts, and screw it together. It's just easier.
What's the dimensions that you want?
8 feet wide, 8 feet wide by whatever deep. I don't care.
So here's the trick.
So
make it 8 feet by 4 feet and 4 feet tall.
Too deep.
No. Well, then make it 3 feet. Doesn't matter.
All 8x4s. Yeah, use all the plywood.
Yeah, if you make it 4 feet tall, 8 feet long, and then 2 feet deep, it's super easy, and the math is simple. And if you're putting a top on it, and then you're putting a shelf at the bottom to hold stuff.
I need a top. A top on it.
It's all one sheet of plywood and 10 2x4s, and you're good to go.
Yeah,
I'll send you a photo of what I did at work. It's real easy.
You're saying something?
Yeah, it's kind of like the workbench I have in my garage right now. So I'll send you pictures.
I need something. I want to make it heavy. So if I build it light, I'm going to add weight to it. I'll just put bullets and stuff on it, and because you need the weight so that when you're reloading, it's not moving all over the place, right?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I'll send you pictures of my reloading bench too.
All right. Yeah, but if anyone's got some plans, I want to see them because I want to.
I don't have plans. Anyways.
And then I was taking a look at my components, and I have 1,500 small rifle primers, and I have all sorts of 223 brass, and I have 1,500 55 grain projectiles. So I'm probably going to make some 223.
You're getting itchy to reload, aren't you?
I'm just very cheap, and the high prices right now are just they're digging at the cheapness of me, and I just don't want to. I don't really want to pay for it. So
Yeah.
for 223, I can make $270 per 1,000. And but it's a lot more work. I cannot make 1,000 rounds of 223 in an hour. I would probably struggle to make even like 200.
Mo, are you alive? Say hi.
I don't understand this 1,000 rounds.
No, it's good. That's why I spoke.
I know it's a foreign concept.
A 1,000? What are you talking?
As in, that's a lot or that's nothing? Because I know guys that go through like 25 grand a year pretty easily.
No, I know. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
How many rounds do you do typically in a batch, Mo?
250.
No, 20 minutes worth of work.
I'll do 1,000 minimum for 9mm. I'll do 1,000 in a batch, and that's enough to like, okay, I've made a dent in it, but then I might go back the next day and make another 1,000. Yeah. But not right now because small pistol primers are not out there. Well, and my 223, like for 223, I have a turret press. I don't have a progressive setup for 223. That's going to slow me down a bit, but I also do have. I have a bunch of processed brass, so that's going to be a little bit faster.
Helps.
I think I want to get a tumbler. I don't like care for 9mm because I don't care to wash or anything like that. But with 223, I use lube to full length size them, and then that lube kind of gets all crappy and stuff. I kind of want to tumble them after I like full length size them so that the outside isn't all crappy, and gets my chamber all crappy in my rifle and whatnot.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I might get like. I know some people are going to cringe at this and say, like, just go to the steel pin thing. But I might just get like a cheap vibratory tumbler from Cabela's or something like that. Yeah. Because again, I only care about just giving it like a really rough cleaning on the outside. I care nothing for getting them perfectly clear. I don't care at all about getting the inside perfectly clear. I just want like buff the outside without having to do so much work.
Yeah, it's just walnut shell or corn or whatever.
Whatever's available.
Corn. Yeah. I know when we were doing it, we did corn, but we also threw in ball bearings as well and threw that in there. And it was actually, they came out shiny. My OCD was very pleased with it.
I just want to like keep the gunk to a dull roar. So I'll probably throw them in for like very little time.
Overnight, they come out shiny. Ooh.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, if you tumble them for 6 weeks, they're like perfect.
Throwing a little bit
blind your opponents with the glare off them so they can't see anything when they're shooting.
Yeah. But because you are cheap, Adriel, go to the pet store and get the walnut shell for like a bearded dragon aquarium or whatever, and it's a lot cheaper than buying the actual walnut shell that's for the tumbler.
Or
it's the same stuff.
Or the corn cob stuff that's in the pet store. Yeah, it's super cheap. Go there.
Comes from the same factory.
And I've posted this to our group chat a couple of times. That Tradition Kentucky rifle kit that Cabela's puts on sale once in a while for $3.99. And I was at Cabela's last week, and they're like, "Hey, this when are you getting this on sale?" Like, "Oh, it should be like maybe in August or something like that." And when it's on sale like the next day, I got one.
You got one?
I got the kit.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. I'm already working it. Well, I mainly got it to work on with my kids. I think I could probably finish it and do like a pretty decent job of it, but I'd rather just do it with them and make it like a family project. So
that's very cool.
What we're doing.
Are you going to do cool colors on it?
You know that color change paint they put on cars, like
Yeah.
No, I'm just gonna
tie dye.
Nope, you're doing it.
I'm not actually. I'm not even staining it. I'm just going straight boiled linseed oil on it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, nice. Just straight oil. I tried it on the ramrod because I'm like, I don't know if I really want to stain it. If I do want to go red or brown, what does it just look like with the BLO on it? And I was like, this is fine.
Fine. It looks wood looks great with oil on it. Look at your cutting board. Your cutting board probably isn't stained, right?
Yeah.
And it looks nice.
Yeah.
I hope it's not that stained.
Yeah. Well, like a lot of the original like Kentucky rifles, they would have been stained and they would have been like a pretty dark brown with oil, but like I don't care. It looks fine. It looks fine with that. So I'm just inletting and sanding, and we're just kind of throwing like an hour of work at it every day. So it's probably going to take us like goddamn weeks to finish, but it's been good so far. It's a nice little kit, and for $3.99, like it's a pretty cheap project gun that'll make a nice wall hanger. One thing, if anyone out there is listening and wants to get one of these things, the butt pad on it is super curved, and I don't know whose shoulder it's made for, but maybe like an elf or something like that, because it jams right into your arm right here. It's not made for humans. Like I was reading up it, and they were saying like, oh yeah, some people would like horseback and it would like fit on their arm. I was like, okay, I buy that. Like you could ride around with this thing on your arm. You wouldn't want to shoot it like that. I have no idea why it's shaped like that. Because they don't shape them like that anymore. I'd imagine it was like, I don't know, just some olden days stupidity. That
seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yeah.
Sort of like my Enfield with no pistol grip on it. I'm like, what is this piece of crap?
Well, it's almost like those Sharps where they used to have the butt pad. They had a piece of brass and almost like cradled around your shoulder in your armpit.
But but like it doesn't go to your armpit. Like if you want to put it right here, there's nothing to do. You could put it on your arm, like on your shoulder, I guess. And also horseback, it would be really good. The point of it is very pointy. You could pop that in like some leather, something like that, and ride around with that thing up high very easily. It wouldn't slip off either.
Okay, I'm going to pay you I'm going to pay money to see pictures of you doing that though.
On horseback, I can do this. I can do. I won't shoot at horseback because I'll end up on the ground. But
get Rick out there. Get Rick to give you a pony ride and do it that way. And we will pay money. We will collect money from listeners for this project.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I would have rather have gotten they had a flintlock one, but the flintlock one was like $200 more, and it's like, for a project gun that my kids are probably going to fuck up somehow. I'm just going to go with the percussion cap one.
Way to be supportive, Dad. Anyways.
Yeah, so now I'm looking at like percussion caps and powder, and at least like you can find the percussion caps for it. I have an order again upstairs waiting for me to go hit the buy button.
Yeah, you and two other guys are fighting over those.
There's enough of them out there. The percussion caps, they're not like small pistol primers where it's like
that's what I'm saying. It's you and two guys on online buying them.
Yeah, and I found powder locally that's like reasonable and all that kind of stuff. Gently motivating individuals. Oh yeah, it's good for that. Like all along the bottom is a nice brass strip. You could really butt stroke someone with that thing. Like that's what they were used in the one of the early American wars. Anyways, to the Maple Seed call. I think one of the people remarked that there are 3 Slamfire Radio people on the Maple Seed calls now, which is kind of funny. And I just today signed up for an August 3-gun match. There's one open up at Sherwood Park for members only for now, and popped on that. What am I going to shoot? Savage Axis? Is there a Savage Axis division? Maybe an SVT 40? No, I'm going to shoot my Grand, of course. Is this a question? No, now that I've got it running, I just know, like, okay, make sure it's clean and the chamber's scrubbed and it's not rusty or whatever. Sorry, a little bit longer of a update, but I did lots of gun stuff this week. So that's about it for me. What about you, Kelly?
I did a thing or 2 or 5 or 7. Anyways, I haven't been on 2 weeks, so I did do a couple of things. One of the things that was happening last week was the She Shoots episode. We had Amanda Lynn Mayhew on. So it's fantastic. Episode 8 is coming out on August 9th. So save the date, 8 p.m. EST. We have Amberlyn from Cantac Firearms and also Jen G from CSAAA on. We're going to be talking about women in the firearm industry. So come on over and chat with us. And you can win some prizes too, by the way. So She Shoots. The other thing that happened was 2 weeks ago, we had Maple Seed at Stittsville. So it was a double header. So we were there 2 days in a row. I wanted to give a huge shout out to Greg Owies, who was available both days. And he was my 2IC. We had Kareem and also Richard helping out. So Kareem was on Sunday. This was his first shoot ever as an instructor, and Richard, he helped it on the Saturday, and it was his first shoot as an instructor as well. So stinking hot, by the way, no rain. were batting 1,000 for good weather, but it was actually 35 degrees in full sun, and people.
Yeah.
That's not batting 1,000.
We were making sure that people were drinking. I was the Maple Seed mom. I kept asking inappropriate questions like, "Have you peed yet?"
Let me see what color it is. All right, you're good.
Are you that desperate for good weather that 35 you're putting that in the good weather category?
Yeah.
Oppressive heat.
See, I hate winter, so I'll call 35 good weather.
Yeah.
I'll take heat over rain.
So there was no tornadoes, there was no hurricanes, there was no, what are they called? Dreshos or Drake, whatever. Adriel, what are they called?
Derecho?
Derecho, yeah. So we didn't have any
big
of those.
wind.
The rapper?
Yes. There was no, I don't know, the apocalypse, the horse, whatever.
Four Adriels with their weird guns on a horse.
Yes. But we did have a couple of listeners that came and shot. So Richard, I want to say hi to Richard. He's a regular listener. William's listening tonight as well. So he came out. He scored a rifleman, and he's going to be helping out too. So congratulations and thank you for stepping up. And then we also had Michael as well, another listener. And I was there, and I took a bag full of the patches and I hand them out to everybody. So it was good.
Sweet.
Yeah. Last weekend, what happened was I did a thing as well. That's what we're talking about. I might as well talk about it. So the Ontario photo shoot for the CCFR Gunny Girl calendar, it happened last weekend. So a bunch of ladies descended on Bancroft, Ontario. We rented out a Airbnb that saw 20 people. It was an amazing weekend with a bunch of ladies. We had fires at night. We had a little bit of alcohol.
A little bit?
Okay, there was a lot of alcohol.
A little bit.
But we had the best time ever, and it was a bunch of ladies getting together to support other women and getting women into shooting. So it was fantastic.
Nice.
I just wanted to give a huge shout out to the ladies of the women's program, also to our models, our photographer, and our lighting team as well. And in the main shout outs, I'm going to give a shout out to specific people that were helping out as well. So one of the other things that I did was I just recently, as of today, I registered for a Lower Trent Valley ORPS match that's going to be happening on September 4th. And I put that into the event section. I just wanted to give a shout out to Russ Rodriguez, who's actually one of the Maple Seed instructors, but he hosts monthly events or PS events at Lower Trent Valley. And he's really, really trying hard to get more and more women to come out. So I told him that I would talk about it. First of all, I told him that I would register for the Lower Trent Valley or PS match on September 4th. I'll give you a seat. Anyways, it's one of the only days I had available. I'm going, I'm actually free that day. I can do it. So anyways,
have you shot an ORPS yet?
Yep.
Oh.
So I did one it's been a while. It was July 1st weekend. It was last year. I think it was last year, and it was in Stittsville. So I went and shot that one. So anyways, going to go to this one on September 4th. As I said, Russ is trying to get more women into the shooting, ORPS and precision rimfire and all that. So I told him that I would talk about it and I would register for today as well. So I put it in the event section. So we're going to talk about it there. And other than being busier than a warm arm paper hanger, that's me. So Mo.
I was supposed to go to a IPSC match at Eastern Ontario this past weekend, but I ended up canceling because I needed the time to finish my move. So unfortunately I didn't get to go. The good part is I did get all my restricteds moved, and I was happy with that. I was able to do it all in one shot, so I managed to locate enough trigger locks, cable locks, padlocks for all the cases and triggers, obviously. So I got it all done. I was happy with that. I managed to fit it all into the new temporary safe, but it was a bit of a snug fit. But they all got in there. So that's it. So that was a relief to get that done. And I have a match coming up this weekend in Stittsville, mentioning Stittsville. And that's really it for me. So
that's why I sound a little burned out.
Yeah, no, I did the move myself. So like, it was very backbreaking, and I missed shooting. I'll put it that way. But Kelly was mentioning the heat, and like if I had gone to that match, it would have been like close to 40 with the humidity. So I guess it was good that I didn't end up going. But I got to enjoy it while I moved. So there was that. How about you, Kyle?
Well, I was going to go shooting on Saturday, but there was a post that there wasn't an RO for that day, so the range was going to be closed, so I ended up spending the day ROing the range so that it could be open.
Nice.
So it was a day. It was kind of boring, but is what it is.
When you're ROing, that's good. Boring is good.
Yeah. Well, except for I had one guy come and shoot, sold a membership, and one guy came and shot. So it was a beautiful day out too. But then was on a Maple Seed call, same one as Adriel and Kelly, and just been working with the guys at the range, planning for Westerns coming up next weekend, planning food and everything, getting all that sorted out. So, but yeah, actually hoping to make it to the range and do some actual shooting for prep for Westerns here this weekend. So hopefully get out and smash some clays. But that's it for me. So
cool.
With that, we'll get on. Oh, excuse me. Get on to upcoming events. Upcoming events is sponsored by Telos Alpha. Telos Alpha is a Canadian digital agency that works exclusively in the firearms vertical. They help with the business processes, strategic planning, websites, e-commerce, and battling the stigma the industry carries with banks, merchant processors, and social media. You can learn more at telosalpha.com. And for stuff, we got Maple Seed events are available. All the open events are available. So we got Chilliwack, Redmondville, Smithers, Dawson Creek, Blyman Valley, St. Andrews, Ontario, Tracyville, Cornwall, Broken Head, Fort Mac, and the Atlantic Marksman Association. So
those all have spots open.
Yeah, we have a few more that have spots available too, but we'll put those in. I think October events.
Yeah, this is just like a month or two.
Over the next month and a half or 2 months. Yeah. So you can go to
Cornwall. There's the same place. I'll have to clean that up. Anyways, okay.
You can go to mapleseedrifleman.com to find other events that might be available later on, or to get your ticket. Kamloops Rimfire Competition Academy and CRPS Ladies Only match is happening this weekend. They have, the Ladies Only match is 10-stage standard format, PRS style long range. There will be about 1 to 5 targets placed 1 to 300 meters. You can go to practice score for either one of them. There you got 2 different ones, July 30th and CRPS on July 31st. CNSCA Western Canadian Championship is at Wapiti Shooters Club August 5th to 7th. You can check the poster out on CNSCA on Facebook or the Wapiti Shooters Club website. And then there is an ORPS match in the Lower Trent Valley on September 4th. Kelly was just talking about that. It's in Frankfurt, Ontario, PRS style, 5 stages from 25 to 100 yards, plus a bonus stage. Approximately 60 rounds, and it's $25 for adults, free for youth. You can send an EMT for your fees to ORPS at ltvfg.ca and use LTV22 capitals as the password. You'll be approved to squad once payment is received. Is that on Practice Score, Kelly?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so you can search that out on Practice Score, register, and then send them an EMT.
Yep.
Ladies' Days, as always, Kelly, aka the Ccfr Women's Division, is continually looking to sponsor events. So you can contact slamfireradio@gmail.com or info@firearmsrights.ca, get the package, everything, and get helped out with your event. Anything you want to add there, Kelly?
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff on Twitter. I know Twitter's a cesspool, but anyways, but there's been a lot recently about some of the events that are Ladies' Day events that are taking place, specifically with Canadian Tire sponsoring the event that's going to be happening next weekend in New Brunswick, and then we
I did actually see that one. Yeah.
Anyways, there is so with respect to that, you know, it's always great to have Ladies' Day events, and if we can have more that we can have, the more that we can actually bring more people into our sport, or two, have them understand what our sport is all about, or three, if we're posting this stuff all over the place and people are posting pictures of them shooting, and these are women that are between the ages of 8 and 80, that's going to combat a lot of the negative stereotype that's going around. And it's also about empowering women too. I keep saying it's all about empowering women, but again, if it's, you know, someone who's 80 years old firing off a, I don't know, 6.5 Creedmoor, you know, and she's got a big smile on her face and doing this, which is one of the pictures that I recently used to make a poster.
Awesome.
It's going to combat the, again, stereotype thinking that people have about Canadian gun owners and shooters. So more events that we can have. So send me an email here at slamfireradio@gmail.com, or send it to info@firearmsrights.ca, or you can even kelly.wheaton@firearmsrights.ca. I'll send you the package, and we can also talk about sponsorship in that as well. So yeah, that's me.
Cool. And we haven't talked about it much, but September 9th, 10th, and 11th is TACCOM in Mississauga. So it's basically Canada's version of SHOT Show, but open to the public.
Right. So tickets are now on sale. They have opened them up. The other thing is too, if all of the stuff that's going through, like the handgun ban and OIC and all that, after a while, it won't be TACCOM anymore. It'll just be a show with 12 gauge. So get out and do it now.
Yeah.
Enjoy the family again.
I'm just reality, truth bombs all over the place.
Yeah.
Just go. Anyways.
Right. So that brings us to the end of the events, and we'll get into the news. And
speaking of happy things.
Yeah, speaking of happy things, and probably the thing that everybody's talking about is that the buyback program and the proposed dollar values on what the government is proposing to pay us has come out, and they have a survey attached to it as well. And
so first of all, who's going to fill out the survey?
No,
Second
I'm not.
of all, what?
No.
So basically the government has said, okay, first they were late on their homework. Oh, sorry, I didn't even start.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to give ourselves like another year and a half. And now they're like, okay, we're done. Here's what we have so far. But it's like, it's total shit. You can tell it's like they just mailed it in. And now they're like, can you guys do our work for us? Can you tell us how much it should be? So I think you should take it. Make sure to
inflate the prices.
I wouldn't say that. I would say write down the value it has to you. The personal value. It should be what you put on there.
Priceless, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
See, I kind of disagree with that personally. Sorry, go ahead, Kelly.
I was just going to say there are going to be things that are going to be priceless, like specifically family heirlooms and that. So it is priceless. Okay, Kyle, your turn now. I'll shut up.
My personal view is when you put in that price, that's what you'd be willing to sell it to the government for. And I'm not willing to sell stuff to the government, so I'm not going to participate in the program.
Okay.
That's my personal opinion.
I want to sell that clapped out NEA receiver over there. If I can sell it for $1,300, I'll sell that every day for $1,300.
Well, why don't you do voluntary?
Well, it is.
People do one.
It is. You will either sell it or you will disable it. Those are going to be our two options.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, the other option is you tell them to go F themselves, and then you wait for the SWAT team to show up.
Yeah.
So that's an option as well.
But the prices they indicated, like Sean, he has in here that he feels like he's being screwed for lack of a better
That's
term.
because they're like
violated,
a teenager
yeah.
that caught not
Violated.
doing their homework, and they're like, okay, here's some numbers. Is this good? It's like, no, this is totally completely stupid.
2,800 for BMG? Like, really? Seriously?
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
the
and
funny thing about this entire thing is Bill Blair is up in front of the commission the other day and says, we were planning this for years. We've been plotting and coming up with stuff.
Plotting.
And it was just a coincidence that we happened to release it just after that idiot with his smuggled gun shot a bunch of people. Really?
No, I actually, he's correct. It's been planned.
He is
for
correct.
years.
They've been thinking about it.
But
if this is the best you can come up with years of planning, what the hell, guys?
Well, Dave, this, like, you're talking about, there's a difference here. Announcing versus doing. The announcing part's fun. You can just announce anything. Yeah. We're going to ban assault style weapons, but then doing it is hard. You got to like figure out numbers and contact people, and are they getting
numbers are hard? Yeah,
you got to spend money. It's hard. Like, it's really hard to.
But they're looking for cooperation as well from people, specifically gun owners. They're looking for cooperation from retailers. And nobody is wanting to really cooperate with them.
Yeah, why should we cooperate with them?
You're right. They're sending this stuff out, but going back to what you said, Dave, they did use the what happened in Portapic to actually announce this because it's an opportunity, and that's what what happened.
And then with Uvalde, they didn't even try and hide that. They just said this was the perfect opportunity, and Canadians have never been more excited about gun control. Yeah, no shit, guys.
Anyways, go back and have more ladies stay, and we can post that, and we can counteract this shit. Anyways,
so for anyone who's interested, it is $1,337 for an AR, which is what they're proposing. So when I saw that, I laughed because GamerSpeak 1337 is elite, which would be elite. So I'm wondering if they got that number off a random Reddit post somewhere.
Probably.
Where'd they get that number? They're just like, Google, what is an AR-15 worth? Oh, there's a Reddit post. Yeah, okay, $1,337.
No, I bet you they paid a consultant millions of dollars to come up with just that crappy list.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Well, like Mike says, imagine owning an 8-gauge Holland and seeing a price like that, and that over 20 millimeters, it's $2,684.
Yeah. And there's your your Latvi anti-tank rifle. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
This isn't the final version though. This is just some like crappy mailed in like average. Like there's probably a lot of clapped out 8 gauges out there that like 2,600 be way too much for, right? This is not going to be the final price point. I'm not getting $1,300 for that for my shitty NEA upper and lower over there. I'm not getting it. I'm getting like $100, $200, I bet.
A couple $100. Yeah, I have a feeling that they're throwing this out just so that they can say, "Oh, look, we consulted."
Yeah, well, exactly. We tried to work with you guys.
It'll be like
for too much
on the ban.
You asked for more than we can give.
It'll be like the survey on the assault weapon ban, where they did it, and then they're all of a sudden like, "Oh, no, this didn't mean anything. This was just whatever."
Yeah, they just turn around and do whatever they want to, anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well. In more happy news, due to pending government regulation, all existing handgun and revolver inventory has been committed and we are otherwise sold out. Furthermore, based on the aforementioned, Stoker Canada will not be importing any more handguns right now.
Yep.
Which, I mean, you're like, Stoker, who cares? But they sell more than just Stoker.
Yeah. Who was that anyways? That was the importer.
Stoker Canada.
Oh, it was Stoker Canada. Okay.
Yeah. But like they have more than just Stoker that they bring in. So Beretta is under Stoker.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want your outdated 90s tech, get one used or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think they rep any revolvers, so I can't stab those guys. But
Well,
we're going to see a lot more of that.
I was just going to say it's a sign of the times.
Aren't going to be renewing inventory.
The closer we get to September, the closer they are to holding on to a bunch of. We should read out the proposed compensation amount for all these different platforms, though.
Let's do that.
Okay.
AR platform is 1337. CX4 Storm is 1317. CZ Scorpion is 1291. M14 rifle, 2612. Holy crap. Could you imagine having one of the Norks that you bought for $3.99 back in the day? Think of the ROI.
Again, I have a feeling that when they do this, they'll actually be like, "Oh, you've got a Norinco from 2006. That's $50."
Yeah. We were talking about the national match rifles for those ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Robinson Armament. It doesn't say XCR. It just says Robinson Armament. So I'm assuming the XCR. 2735. Mini 14, 1407. SG 550 and SG 551, 6209. 6 hour
guys that
MCX.
have 10 of them are making bank.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the SG 550s went for when they originally came in. The MCX and MPX are 2369, VZ 58, 1139. Firearms with a bore diameter of over 20 millimeters will be 2684. And firearms with a muzzle energy of over 10,000 joules, aka your 50 BMGs, will be 2819.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get the scope mounts for that, maybe. Unless it's one of those Norinco AR uppers. No. Nobody's selling their 50 cal for that.
No.
LOL. That's adorable. It's like Mattel's My First Price List. Nice try, guys.
Indeed.
Okay, well, we'll get into some actual good news this time. There have been a bunch of CCFR Legal Fund donations.
Yeah.
So
Good.
Torch River Pistol and Rifle Club donated $300. Cornwall Handgun Club donated $1,000. Algonquin Shooting Sports Association donated $5,000. Cowichan Fish and Game Association donated $1,500. Wild West Shooting Center donated $1,000. Vegreville Wildlife Federation donated $250. And Montreal Firearms Recreation Center donated $290.
Crap.
So thank you to all those clubs for helping out.
That's Crapham.
Yeah. Yeah, I put it in there. Crap 'em.
Crapham.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
It's good.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And I did check about the contest as well. It's still running.
Perfect.
So I just
So in the contest Kelly's talking about is the Ultimate Choice 2022 contest being put on by the CCFR. First place is $10,000 shopping spree. Second and third are each $5,000 shopping sprees, and there's 5 more prizes of $1,000. For every $25 you donate, you receive 1 entry to win. So
wonder if I can I win? I can't win, can I? I'm a doctor.
I don't know.
I'm not able to win. Damn it.
It's in the fine print.
I resign.
There you go. Just quit. Wait for the contest and then sign up again.
There you go. Yeah.
Smart.
If you are, and you can donate by sending an EMT to finance@firearmsrights.ca or going onto the website. I'm sure they have a link on the website to donate.
Yeah, they do. Yep.
Yeah.
Donate now, donate often. Keep the fight.
Dealing with frustrations while shooting. Well, let me. How much time do you have?
Well, we're going to do new gun stuff first.
Okay, let's do that.
So new gun stuff is sponsored by Bolt Action Coffee, and we've been an ambassador for them for a bit. Coffee is roasted in small batches and is some pretty damn good coffee. So you can get to your house by going to boltactioncoffee.com and use discount code SLAMFIRE, all capitals, one word. And this is where we turn it over to Adriel to go over the new gun stuff. And Adriel is muted right now.
Yeah, just let me know that it's like I'm talking and it's like, your mic's muted. Okay, thanks. Firearms Outlook Canada has the Black Creek Labs MRX Bison magazines. These are those 20-round mags made for the Bolt Action MRX. $35. Very reasonable.
Nice.
Yep. Kind of neat. Marstar Canada is carrying new production wood stocks for the K98. These are the prestigious wood stocks that we had on Slamfire once upon a time a while ago. Except, yeah, they're for the K98. They're made with birch plywood. So they'll have like that layered laminate kind of look to them. And they should be pretty strong. So if your K98 stock is beat to hell and you want to put something else on it and actually use your K98, maybe use one of these.
Oh, yeah. Looking at them, too. You stained that dark, and that would look very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Or you can do that color paint job that Adriel was talking about and what we did with guns, where you can actually see it from one angle and it's blue, one angle it's purple.
I was messing with the guys
Chameleon,
hardcore, and I was like, "Hey guys, so like I'm gonna like truck bed liner will stick to this, right?" And I kept asking them stuff like that, and they're like, "Yeah, but you really should use a stain and some oil." I'm like, "Oh, that sounds
You're
like
not gonna drop
work.
it. And it's gonna protect it.
Yeah, I can just use my grinder to like to relieve this, right? And they're like, "Well, you should use a Dremel or like sandpaper."
Put the chainsaw in there.
Yeah, it was very enjoyable. Marstar also has the Canik SFX Rival 9mm Dark. They have some more Canics over there for $8.99
Dark.
And then we have this. Tactical Imports has the SR410 Mini non-restricted revolver shotgun. It's about the size of that SS211, so very tiny, except it's a revolver 410 shotgun.
Neat.
Very cool.
Yeah, very neat. Cool. $6.99. So they're not like super cheap, but they're one of a kind. Look at the tiny little stock on that thing. It's adorable. So they literally just cut it and then put a butt pad right there. Like that was a full stock, and they're just like chainsaw it. And
it's like something you find at Santa's workshop for defense.
It's so tiny. It's too bad 410's like so expensive.
Yeah.
But that's all the stuff that I found this week.
Okay. Well, with that, we'll get into the main topic. And I kind of thought this would be kind of interesting to go over based on recent events for myself, but wanted to go over dealing with frustration while shooting, just recreationally or during a competition.
By the way, there's no crying at competitions.
Absolutely not.
I've seen.
You go to your trailer to do that.
I have seen crying as well.
Eat your red M&Ms in your trailer. Cry in private.
Suck your thumb, fetal position, all the good jazz.
Okay. So, like, kind of what are you asking, or what are you looking for?
Well, just okay.
What's the background
this last background story. Most recently, I was shooting Sporting Clay match here in Grand Prairie, the Bramley Challenge, and day one, like high expectations were definitely part of it, but it was just shooting like shit. Couldn't hit anything, and quite literally to the point where I was very close to literally just hanging up the shotgun and saying, "Screw this, I'm done."
So you got
rage
into your
quitting,
head.
as Richard is saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to highlight how you deal with that, because I ended up taking a step back after the morning shoot and decided, okay, well, I'm going to go shoot the True Pair game. It's not registered, and try again. I still shot like shit, but I felt better about it. So
Okay.
I think it's a good topic because, like, I've seen people frustrated at Maple Seeds, frustrating with their performance. At the most recent 3-gun match I was at, my son got really frustrated with his performance, and I faced the same things he did, and I didn't get frustrated. But it was just interesting to kind of see, and I mean, I see it at Maple Seed or in 3-gun. And I would say at its worst, it gets really destructive, and people start like giving up and just being, this doesn't matter anymore, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, it's terrible. And like, they know better, they can do better, but they just like purposefully shoot themselves in the foot. Not literally, proverbially, but
metaphorically, yeah.
Metaphorically.
So would you say that, Adriel, and Kyle, what you're mostly seeing there and what you had, Kyle, from the other day, that was expectations versus reality?
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess we could go down and break down what's causing the frustration, and most times it's expectation. I've had it in 3-gun. Now, if 3-gun, it wasn't quit, it was trying to just go even harder and end up screwing up even more. Maybe not the nonchalant like Adriel was saying, but like, okay, I gotta make up the time, so just going hard at it and end up screwing up worse, and making sure that the match is a total screw up.
You get into that spiral where you get mad, you make it worse, which makes you madder, which makes it worse. Which Yeah.
So it's mental.
Oh.
90% of the stuff is mental. We always know that if we go into a match or if we're going into clinic or anything like that, we're going to have things that happen. We will. Well, whether it be ammo, whether it be malfunctions with our firearms or whatever. And those happens. That's a reality. So how do you deal with that? Or you might have a shit shot. Is that shit shot?
Shit shot?
A shit shot? Yeah.
But you're thinking about the shot that just happened instead of concentrating on the one that's coming up. So the reality is you're basically psyching yourself out.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen people blow matches because they missed one shot and they were done.
Or I've also seen people do really, really well and they blow matches because of the fact that they're going, oh, look at that. I just shot, 24 clays. I only got one more to do and I'm going to clean it. You know what they do with the 25th? You know what they do with the 25th?
They miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the mental thing. They're not actually thinking about what they should be thinking about or the muscle memory and the practice they put into it.
I find it at best when I don't care and I don't think about it.
Yeah.
And I'm
Me
just
too.
there and I'm in the moment and I'm taking each shot and no shot matters, but the one I'm taking, I don't check my scores. I don't even want to know.
Yeah.
There are times where you have to physically push hard, like with dynamic shooting, but I would agree with you, Dave, when you are mentally just relaxed and, okay, this is what I got to do. And you go out there and it won't feel like you're going fast, but you're actually cooking pretty good and you lay down an awesome time.
If you're out there having a fun time, because shooting should be fun, by the way. If it's not, then
should be
stop shooting. Anyways, but Mo, he has given us some great tips, specifically when shooting IPSC. He likes to be squatted with people like that are like Canadian champions, and what it does is also pushes you to excel and to get better and better and better, and still having a good time, and then also watching those people too. So he's watching what they're doing so that he can incorporate it too.
Yeah.
So,
but with the frustration is definitely mental and it's all expectation based.
Right.
Yeah. So I know for myself, when I get that way, like I had to do this most recently, is just take a step back. And like you said, it's supposed to be fun. If you're not having fun, you stop. And Crystal will remind me of that because I'll get down on myself or whatever. But are you having fun? It's like, actually, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I need to have fun first. And, screw expectations. If you don't have it that day, you don't have it that day.
World champions also have really bad days.
Yeah.
They do.
Yep.
So
and then they refocus for the next stage and they don't bring the previous bad stage with them, right? So like in an IPSC match setting, right? You're not thinking how poorly you did in that previous stage. You're just focused on the next one and saying, okay, this is a chance for me to do better.
Have you guys ever seen that target? It's a practice target and it's a circle in the middle, and around the edges it says you missed, you missed, you missed, you missed, and in the middle it says yes, do that, keep doing that.
Yeah. This is good.
I've also seen it. You suck, you suck, you suck, and that's actually not what you should be doing.
Nah, I don't like that one.
Don't be so negative.
Let's read this one from Mike here.
Yeah.
I found if you buy cool shooting shirts with made-up sponsors, at the end of the day, some people will think you're still way better than you actually are, and you just had an off day.
That's
pro tip right there.
Yeah.
That's why I wear Slimefire shirts.
Yeah.
Ooh, we should get. Anyways, we should get.
One stage at a time.
Shirts.
Yeah. So I'm going to. I think it's a really good topic because when you and Crystal were on recently, you were talking about how you came into the Maple Seed Clinic and you had expectations, and then you got frustrated because you said, "I should be shooting better than this." And
Actually, surprisingly enough, I didn't get frustrated at the Maple Seed. That was kind of like a setback, but no, I didn't get frustrated at the Maple Seed.
well, that's good. Why didn't you get frustrated at the Maple Seed? Because you said that
Because I was there to learn. I was there to learn, and it was a course, and I knew I wasn't going to go in there and just ace it, but I expected to do better, and I knew that it wasn't the gun's fault, so I was doing something wrong. So,
okay.
The first Maple Seed I did, I was expecting to shoot a little better. Not that I shoot a lot, so I wasn't really expecting to blow it out of the water, but I'm like, I know I can shoot okay. I'm going to do okay at this. And then Rifle didn't fit. I'd never actually used that 10-22 lying prone for some reason, so nothing fit. It was frustrating. And I thought about
that was my story too.
Yeah. And then the second one I did in Drumheller, I said, screw the 10-22. I'm bringing my AR because I shoot that thing all the time. It's like part of my body.
Yeah.
And somebody took my 10-22 because I gave it to you for a loaner rifle, Kelly, and they shot like, I don't know, 230 or something with my loaner rifle. Never touched one before. They did great. And I shot my AR-15, and you know what? When I was shooting that rifle, and it went down like during my first thing.
MQT.
No big deal. Took it all apart, replaced some parts inside it, back on, because I knew exactly what was wrong with it. Like exactly, no problem.
So part of that is also making sure that you're comfortable with whatever you're shooting as well. So you
got to trust your equipment, and I know with that AR-15 and the configuration it's in, when I lie down and I put my stock right here and I've got my scope dialed in, I'm not gonna miss. Done.
And that's muscle memory, everything.
Yeah.
So
well, this is gonna sound funny. I think what definitely helped with my Maple Seed was with the first Mad Minute right at the start, just to set your baseline. I sucked shit at that, so that basically right away, ego gone now. Like, okay, well, ego is gone. I think it would have been different if I was shooting really good groups throughout the day and then got to the MQT and was struggling to make riflemen. I probably would have gotten a little more frustrated at that point, but because right off the bat, I was okay, knock down a yardstick of pegs and so then that reset my mental thinking.
Yeah. I think that we're talking a lot about Maple Seed. One of the reasons is because we've all attended Maple Seed. We're all instructors. Anyways, but
I think you're more likely to feel frustrated in Maple Seed too than a 3-gun match and see that frustration on display because
it's something new and different.
Yeah. Well, and with 3-gun, the only time you really see people really frustrated is like the only time I see people really frustrated is when their gear isn't working, and that's when people start like throwing guns or getting really pissed off. Is because their guns aren't working properly, they're jamming. I see a lot of guys having like a crappy run, and they're just like,
it was
still
fun.
having fun,
right around.
Yeah, still having fun out here. Yeah, I got part out. Oh, well, and But when guns start jamming, that's when people start doing some really dumb things that
unsafe things as well,
disqualified or just hurt their match. I mean, like at that match where I had that grand jam as my second gun in on a stage, which the first one was like a single mag of my shotgun, and then I go to my Garand and it jammed. It was like, oh, I guess I'm done. It didn't bother me at all. And then on the very next stage, I got first overall. On the stage after that, I got first overall.
Yeah.
I just didn't care. I got a mid-pack score at the end of the day, but like I don't have anything to prove, so like that's totally fine for me.
Great mental attitude. Yeah.
Well, I think like I've failed to meet expectations. My first CRPS match, I'm like, oh, I'll be more than mid-pack. Nope, solid mid-pack. It's a brand new thing. Yeah, I do a lot of rifle shooting, but not that kind of rifle shooting. It's a different. It's its own thing. Yeah.
It's a whole different kettle of fish.
Yep. Yeah.
When I started doing competitive shooting, I was very lucky to be last with some of the stuff that happened. I have a video because a buddy of mine videotaped it, but the front sight fell off my 1911 midway through a run, and I'm like, oh. And you can hear me go, oh. And the range officer goes, your front sight fell off. And we're just sitting here having a conversation while the clock's running. I'm like, yeah, it did. Can I keep going? He's like, you're going to keep going? And I'm like, you know what? At this point, Affit, who cares? So
yes, I am.
I'm like 5 magazines at target. I'm just running mags through the gun trying to hit stuff, and I'm laughing like an idiot.
Finished 50th, but there was only 40 shooters.
Right.
But I got more rounds off than anybody else at that match, and I was shooting 45. So
you got your time's worth.
Eventually, I hit the plate rack, and that knocked them all down. The guy's like, yeah, we'll give you that. But I had fun.
And he's frozen. There he goes.
Oh.
Richard, he was at the Swizzle event. That was a couple of weeks ago. And he said, my last Maple Seed, I dropped shots because I panicked and missed Revelin by 10 points.
Yeah, not being able to get your shots off, or you were really close, but your neighbor shot your target. Ooh, yeah, that one can frustrate people too.
Yeah, I've seen that happen with people. They get frustrated. And yeah, I do remember specifically the first event that ever happened here in Canada. I heard, who's shooting my rifle? And then there were some colorful words. Or who's shooting my target? And then there were some colorful words. And I'm not going to say who it was, but anyways, never mind. I know that my last IPSC match that I shot at, remember I was telling you that I'm shooting the bunker stage with all the steel and everything, and then I'm shooting low, I'm not even hitting the target, what the hell is going on? And I walk down range and I'm going, I'm not a great pistol shooter, but I'm better than this. And I didn't get frustrated. I was kind of frustrated from the point of view of I said to myself, I'm a better shooter than this and don't know what's going on. And the guy beside me, as I'm shooting the next stage, she goes, yeah, your fiber optic is just totally wagging all over the place. So you might want to fix that. And got it fixed. And then for the next stage, it was like alpha, which so it's kind of like, yeah, let's fix it. Let's not just throw the whole match at. And besides, it's an IPSC match. We're going there. We're going to hitch. So let's have some fun. I am by any means not a B shooter or anything like that. I'm out there to have fun with a group of people. So it's all about attitude.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm still out to shoot
reminding yourself.
Like, I don't want to like let off the gas. I'm still giving like 95, 100% on my stages. I just like, and I really do care about like shooting well. I just don't really care about the score.
That's it. So yeah,
I want to shoot well. I don't care about where the score is afterwards, though.
And that's exactly it with me too. Like I care about getting my hits, and I care about shooting well, but I also don't care about the score. And quite frankly, I never look at where I place. Maybe I should, but I never look at where I place, because as long as I know that I had a good match, or if I feel like I'm meeting what my goals are for that specific match, then yeah. Like if it's
I like to see the scores afterwards to know what I need to improve, and how hard I need to push. Like I've looked at some stages where I've been shooting with other people. I'm like, oh my god, I got to turn the gas on. These guys are going way faster than me. My foot speed. I need to work on that for the next one. I don't really get mad about it, but I'll just look at it in terms of like a self-improvement kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I think as long as I shoot a little better than I did last time and I'm happy with it and I learned something.
Yeah. So we're talking a little bit about like what we can do to improve or reduce our frustration. What can you do to help someone else's frustration? Because I see that most often.
Make them smile.
Make them smile, crack a joke, remind them that, hey, we're out here to have fun. It's all good. Ultimately, no one cares how good you do as long as you're out there having a good time.
Yeah, keep it positive.
Yeah.
If I'm ROing and somebody's just getting mad and frustrated, I'll stop them and I'll say, look at me, smile. Because as soon as you smile, your body doesn't know that you're not smiling.
That would piss me off so much if you did that to me, Dave.
I'm still doing that to you, Adriel. I'll be like, hey, Adriel.
If you did that, if I was like shitting the bed on a stage and you said, Adriel, look at me, smile, I'd be so mad.
Would you lunge at him?
It would take everything in my body not to.
So doing that. Not so much with matches, but certainly with teaching people to shoot and at training exercises and stuff.
Yeah.
I'd stop them and say, listen, just take a minute, breathe. I did that recently with somebody that was on the line. No, don't worry about it. You're shooting on your own time. Just take a minute, relax, breathe. Once that was done, the frustration level lowered significantly. And then, so
I think you, as an RO in a sport that allows it, like a little bit of coaching mindset in the stage can like prevent someone from blowing out a stage. You can say like someone's like wailing or going to war with a target. You can like in the moment say like either breathe and slow squeeze of the trigger, or just say, screw that target, keep going, go for the next ones. You got time, and like pushing them and motivating them to move to the next one. I think are some really good things to help someone from blowing out, or else just recognizing when someone does something right. If they've had like a shit day, you're like, oh man, you crushed that plate rack. Maybe the rest of the stage was a complete write-off, but you just like, oh man, you rolled that plate rack. And they're like, yeah, I did. Yeah. The rest of it was a mess. But if they can like find something positive to focus on, that really helps too.
So I was able to take the mental marksmanship course through Milken, and it was, by the way, if you can go, that's probably one of the best courses you can take. And we didn't even shoot anything. So one of the things that I did take away, or one of the stories that Linda had specifically, was she was at a competition, national competition, or it was a world competition, and we train ourselves to think about, doing the best we can. And this one girl, she dropped a shot, and that's all she thought about was dropping that shot. And Linda went to her and said, but you made all your other shots. So what did you do well? Instead of concentrating on what you didn't do, concentrate on the stuff that you did well, and just repeat that.
Yep. Yeah, and it's easy for the mind. The mind loves drama, right? So it's like the news. Negative stuff sells, and that's what unless you focus on it, it's really easy to just fixate on that one shot. Same thing. I watched a guy at a match, and he was just nailing it at like 800 yards, just dropping them on the target. Was awesome. But he had one that was off. He called the wind wrong, and it was off. And the guy that was coaching me at the time went over to the guy and said, "Hey man, what happened with that one round that was off? What went on there?" And that guy was done for the day, like done, just absolutely done. And he was killing it, and he completely blew the match.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
It was pretty mean, but my coach is not a nice guy. So and he didn't like that guy either. He didn't like that guy.
He could be looking for like self-diagnosis. Like that guy should recognize like, oh, I called the wind wrong.
Yeah.
But he couldn't handle it. Too thin of skin on it.
But I have seen people at competitions do that specifically. And it's to psych the other person out, but don't let people psych you out.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Just ignore it.
You know some mean people. Holy.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It can be without even the mean little jab to get your mind going when you see buddies in between stages from other squads and they ask you how it's doing. Doesn't matter if it's a good match or not. Just say, yeah, it's fun, having a good day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that even if you're having a crap day actually shooting, it still gets your mind into a
better frame,
more positive space than focusing on the negative.
So Mike, I posted this. Mike said pre-stage prep questions like, have you zeroed your turret? That's actually a really good one. So thank you. If you're an RO and you are on the stage and you're giving people, time to make sure you zero your turrets. Have you loaded your mags up? Things like that. Those are good things to say to people. It's decent as well.
Little story
the
about
mag loaded thing and the turret. Like, so in PRS, you zip your turrets a lot and you can be a full rotation out, which all of you guys know. I'm just for some of our listeners who might not shoot a lot of PRS.
In there, done that.
You can shoot it. You could shoot a whole stage and just be like, I don't know where the bullets are going. The whole cadoodle could just be like no hits anywhere, and you don't even know where your bullets are going because you're like a full rotation out. Or like the mags being partially loaded, you could head into a stage, be shooting and hear a click when you should have heard a bang, and you're like, what's going on? Then you load another mag, but there's only two in that one, and then you're on to another one, and now you're headed for a true and dear train wreck of a stage.
Yeah.
Okay. So we had an instructor on the line last week, and I watched him do it, and he insert the magazine, and he was getting into his mental bubble and everything. And and then immediately saw the magazine just fall right out.
Oh no.
And we called fire, and I said, magazine, check your magazine.
Shut up, Kelly. I'm focused.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm in the zone. I'm in the shooter's bubble. You don't exist.
Run at a bolt, racked around, and then it's click, and then the magazine's on the ground. Anyways, so it's always great to give helpful hints to people if you can.
Yep. Well, first precision match I shot, I'd been screwing around with my scope the night before to find out how many clicks of elevation I actually had on the scope before I ran out. and I completely gapped and didn't put it back down. So I'm shooting my 308 at 100 yards or 200 yards, and my spotter is going, yep, you're dead on. You're dead on. So I'm like, sweet, this is awesome. We shoot the match, 0 hits. We go back to 300, 0 hits. 400, I'm like, what is going on? He's looking at the wrong target.
Oh,
he thought we were on a different base. We're like on lane 3. He's looking at lane 4, and he's like,
"Oh no!"
Yeah, you have to hit the right target.
Oh,
right. So then I'm like, okay, I'm going to aim at the bottom of the berm, fire a shot, and he's like, I think you hit the number boards, and they're like 20 feet up. Like, oh crap! It's a good thing there was a massive backstop way down range, because I don't know where those bullets were going, but yeah. Oops! So never did that again.
Some of the things, some of the things you can do to prevent frustration is do the same thing you always do.
Yeah.
So whether it's you have a top up and you have that magazine and you ditch it, or you go through, it's the same routine so that you're not like, I was in the middle of a stage once and I had to reshoot another stage and I forgot to actually switch it out, my mag out for a full mag. So halfway through I'm going, oh shit, there's no more bullets. or thinking if you have to reshoot the stage, oh shit, I didn't go through and do the mental prep for it on how I'm actually going to shoot it. And then I shot like shit, obviously.
Yeah, that's why the gods do not smile upon reshoots.
The pre-prep for a stage or station is, have the same routine every time. This is what I do.
I love reshoots. I know some guys don't. I love them because there's always something where it's like, I could have done that a little bit better. But I haven't been really badly burned by one yet. I imagine my time is coming.
Oh, it'll come.
Yeah,
it'll come. That's when your gun goes down and you just did like a not bad one, but you had a target failure, and they're like, I'm gonna reshoot. You just blow it.
Oh, that's happened. That's happened. But I don't care about that.
Yeah, a lot of times the reshoots do not end up better.
Yeah.
I like Wayne's here. He'd seen a guy run a 3-gun stage great until he got to the shotgun and forgot to load his caddies. He was done.
I've seen that multiple times.
Yeah.
No chest cat. If you're running like a chest caddy and you got no chest caddy on you.
I've done it once where the previous stage, it was one of the double up bay stages. So shot the first stage. Yeah, okay, that went great. Put my shotgun down on the table, and I ended up running the timer for the rest of the stage. And then we got to the second stage on that bay. And okay, so load, make ready, put my ghost load in, put it around in the chamber of my shotgun, put it on the staging table, and I start having a deadly run. Then get to the shotgun, shoot 2 shots, and it doesn't go bang anymore. Because I didn't preload my shotgun. I just loaded the ghost load and the one in the chamber, so it was a mad scramble to load shells. And
oh no!
And after that, I just put down my shotgun and laughed like that. That's all I could do. With
reloading though, like what's it like loading another 8 rounds? You can do that no problem. That's like a 3-second problem or a 4-second problem.
It was a short stage though. It was a very short stage.
Whatever.
But yeah, it was just funny. And yeah, those times like that, you just got to laugh at yourself because that was your own damn mistake. And yeah.
So I've seen guys get down range and they were retaining their empty magazines. So then they start pulling the empties and load the gun. I saw one guy load like 3 empties through his gun, one after another. And we're just sitting there looking at him going, come on, dude. And you hit one that had ammo in it, and there was like 2 rounds in that one.
Yeah, some IPSC shooters like to any mags that they pick up, they put in a pocket, not back on their belt, and then when they get back to the back behind the scenes, they load up those mags. I check all my mags every time when I load them. I check all my rifle mags, all my pistol mags, then they go in the belt, and then I know for sure that belt's loaded. It's not. You get frustrated for all sorts of reasons. Getting frustrated for crappy reasons, like you forgot to load your mags, that's the worst. Because it's so preventable. Like if I shoot a crap stage, so be it. If I jam or fail because of my lack of preparation and I don't have a good time because I didn't prepare the right kind of stuff, that's worse. Way worse.
Yeah. Well said.
So to prevent frustrations, here's what we're recommending, correct? Have reasonable expectations, have fun, make sure that you are prepared, whether it's through running the stage and doing your own preparation on how you're going to run it. Make sure that your equipment is in top order and it's clean before you come, and you have enough ammo and magazines, etc. And that you, between stages, prepare as well. You reset your zeros. You run with somebody who is a little bit better so that you can push yourself, but also have a really good time and squad yourself with people that are fun. And then also don't be so hard on yourself. It's shooting. You're going out to the range, and a bad day at the range is a good day everywhere else. Correct?
It's true.
Correct.
Yeah, and I'll break it down even really simple for gear related frustration. Set yourself up for success. Make sure you're prepared and everything's good.
Yeah.
For the performance frustration, remember, you're doing this to have fun. Yes, you want to be competitive, but you're doing it to have fun. And a lot of times all you need to do is just take a step back, deep breath, reset. Don't dwell on the past, look towards the future.
Yeah.
And smile, yeah.
Not that smile, Kelly.
No.
Not that one. I pitched you off the range.
That would give me
Unload,
nightmares.
go
No.
clear, leave, you're going home.
Actually, just breathe.
Yes.
Yeah.
And by the way, nothing is mandatory. You can just walk away and take a minute if you need to as well.
Yeah.
Unless you're
Absolutely.
physically on the line with a gun that is jammed or whatever. You can't.
Yeah.
Don't throw anything. It's automatic.
Don't do stupid things when you're mad. Just stop, breathe. Don't do dumb things.
Yeah. Anyways.
I think that pretty much wraps that up.
And take
good topic.
a mental marksmanship or a mental course, or go read Lanny Basham's, anyways, just
go mental.
go mental.
Go mental.
Go mental.
Kelly, smile. Kelly scares me.
Encourage people to smile.
Yeah. In the middle of the stage.
By the way, I think
Adriel, we're shooting Adriel. I'm going to RO you, and I'm going to remember to smile, Adriel. Why are you
If you really want to get in my head, just say like, you'd be cuter if you smiled a little bit.
I'm just going to lean over you and tell
You're
you
going to hear
smell
that at
different
the
when you're
next.
awake.
Always about
In the middle of the stage, be yelling, "You're not smiling. You're not smiling."
Somebody's gonna yell that at Adriel next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody that's
Absolutely.
streaming, if you happen to be listening,
Fantastic.
remember to yell at Adriel. Are you smiling?
All of you have shot with me before, except for Hef. You will at some point, but you all know that I will smile at some point, and it won't be genuine. It'll be.
It's like that smile, like, leave me alone now before I rip your head off.
No. Anyways.
Just give her an apple. That solves everything. Give her food. Offer her bath beads.
Yeah. Okay. Dave's talking about feeding me. Yes, he feeds me so I don't get hangry.
That's good.
That's not frustration. That's just I've killed somebody for a cheese sandwich. Anyways.
What would you do for Klondike bar? Would you murder him?
A lot.
Would you murder him?
I've got a list.
Oh.
Speaking of which, my chicken wings just finished cooking.
Okay, well, we have to wrap it up before Kelly kills us all.
Getting hangry right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's the smile.
Let's get into listener feedback. Listener feedback sponsored by Armory DC Gunsmith. Armory DC Gunsmith is a full-service gunsmith who specializes in firearms refinishing. He offers hot bluing, parkerizing, and Cerakote finishes, as well as wood refinishing. Don't know if he offers psych surveys or not, but you can check out his online inventory of new used guns, firearms, accessories, optics, and more at dcgunsmith.ca, or check him out on Facebook or Instagram. And we don't have anything, so
There's something here from Kelly. It says, wrap it up, chicken wings. Love, Kelly.
Great letter.
yeah, that was very to the point and informative.
Terse,
Yeah.
Yes.
If you would like to send the show an email where we will read it in this segment, you can do so by sending an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. We also don't have any new Patreon supporters, but you can also become a patroni by going searching us up on Patreon. But other than that, shout outs. Anybody got anything?
Yeah, I got one for the 3-gun guys. Just to thanks again for running another match at Sherwood Park. Let's get my 3-gun fix in. And then one to Thomas and Roseanne for taking me out to the range or driving.
Aww.
And yeah, it was a good time.
Aww.
I like going to the range with people. It's
Hang
fun.
your head out the window. Are we there yet?
It's a lot better than solo, yeah.
Yeah, everything's more fun with other people.
Yes. Well,
Everything.
most things.
Like slow dancing.
Don't judge me.
All right. I do have a shout out. I wanted to give a shout out to the Bancroft Fish and Game Club, especially Paul, Bruce, and Bob. They were fantastic with last weekend's Gunny Girl calendar shoot. They provided a range, but also other locations, and then also some firearms that are going to be in the calendar too. So, and then horses
Nice.
too. It's awesome.
You had the ponies.
We got ponies.
Ponies.
And also always to our listeners for listening and giving us some great feedback and great smiles when we meet them in person, especially at our events. So I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for listening.
Shout out to everybody who's been donating to the CCFR Legal Challenge because, yeah, you people are awesome. Keep it up.
Yay.
And any of the other legal challenges like Alberta Tactical Rifle or...
Yeah.
I think
Actually, they have another
going on.
draw going on now. They have a sticker draw going on now.
They do. Yeah, go check out Alberta Tactical Rifle. They're awesome.
Yeah,
Mhm.
forgot about that.
Products.
Hey, Mo, do you have a shout out?
No shout outs, sir.
No, I don't have one either. So with that, we will sign off. So go check us out on Gunners River Canada. Give us a like on Facebook. Like, subscribe YouTube. Give us a review on Facebook or wherever. Join the CCFR, and we will see you guys next week. Good night.
Later.
I'm going to say goodnight to
Wing
Mo.
time.
Because, oh, yeah, wings. But night, Mo. You keep saying night to me when I'm not here. So I
Good
like
night,
that.
Kelly.
Good
Good
night,
night,
Mo.
Adriel. Good night, Dave. Good night, Kyle.
Good night, Tom Boy.
Good night, John Boy. Good night.
And everybody thinks of that. I can't help it. The John Boy thing. It always pops back to the Family Guy episode where he's like, John Boy, and the light comes on. He's like, damn it, can a boy masturbate?
That's right.
And the show is
And I have
there
just
we go.